Hi, Donald. How you doing? I was reading your writing here. It sounds like you had a little bit of a difficult time with this, and that's okay. That's okay. Just keep working. It'll come to you, I promise. Let's go ahead and take a look at your composition. I'll describe a couple of things I think that'll make a lot of sense to you. Now, you've done something here very smart, and that is the law of diminishing size. We can clearly see the largest trees appear to be closest to the vantage point, while the smallest trees appear to be the furthest away. That's good. I only see overlap in one area, and that's right here. So try overlapping a lot of these elements. So in other words, these largest trees would overlap the second smallest ones. Those would maybe overlap this one. So maybe move this tree over here behind this one, or move this one over here, move this one over a little bit, move this one up, and then that's good right there. But maybe move this one right here so it's coming from behind that, and so on and so forth. So that overlap is really going to reinforce the implied depth in the composition. I think that the law of diminishing size as well as overlap will really push this to the next level. You've done something smart in the gradient that you mentioned, and that's called atmospheric perspective. And what that's saying is that things get less detailed as they get further from the vantage point, right? So, and they also get lighter in color. So this darker road would indeed become lighter as we move down in through the depth of the composition. Right here, this is really dark, so we're not seeing the trunk of the tree because it's this gradient. This gradient right here is too dark. It's the same color as the tree trunks, so therefore you're not seeing that as form. You're seeing that as a continuation of the ground itself. So you definitely want to lighten up this gradient right here so we can see the tree trunks. So again, lighten up the gradient to reinforce that perspective. Work in a little overlap with the law of diminishing size that you already have, and try to be a little less regimented in the placement of the trees. So in other words, you've got two trees on this plane, two trees on this plane, three trees. Try to scatter them a little bit, okay? So in other words, these ones, this one would be smaller than these ones, just a little bit, right? Because it's further away. All right, then these three are exactly the same, and that doesn't provide a whole lot of visual interest. So let's kind of maybe put one here, okay, and then also develop the size. Think about the size for law of diminishing returns. So if you're going to move this back in the composition, you would decrease the size. The scale would be reduced, okay? So again, I think we'll provide some variety by adding the trees more overlapping some of the other trees and not quite in such a straight line across the composition. All right, if you have those, I think that's going to work. I really do. I think that it'll provide a good understanding as well of how to create the illusion of depth in a composition. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Thank you very much.